So, I was having a little think the other day and I noticed that when we think about the most poignant video game songs, we are drawn towards the ones that are more cinematic and dramatic and morose even. Things that make us sad. So, anything from Quantic Dream really. But hey, what about the jolly jaunty tunes that excite us and enlighten us and fill us full of so much joy whilst playing video games? As summer is starting to blossom in the air, I decided it would be the perfect time to acknowledge these tunes that make gaming just that extra bit sweeter. The cherry on the cake, the flake in the ice cream, and all that good stuff.
And remember, boys and girls, this top 10 list comprises of my personal feelings and only the games that I have played. By all means, please leave your own video game songs that fill you with happiness in the comments below. But do not get butthurt if it does not end up here. Thank you.
But seriously, as chirpy as the Super Mario, Zelda, Pokemon, all that Nintendo stuff, soundtracks maybe, I personally don't like them and I haven't played a whole bunch, so my bad.
Rules, bitch!
This list is going to exclude theme songs, so the song when the game starts up and it's on a menu screen, none of those. It must be present when engaging in actual gameplay. I'm going to be sticking with one song per franchise just to make it a little bit more varied and a bit more of a challenge for myself, because otherwise this whole list would probably just be Spyro songs. Hey, that's a good idea for another top 10. And duh, I do not own any of the games or any of the songs or any of anything. All the copyright just belongs to the people. I don't fucking own any of them, seriously. Blah blah blah. I mean seriously, if I owned all this shit, I'd be a fucking musical genius. I will be noting the title of the song and the game that it originates from, so if you like what you hear and you fancy having a little dabble, then shops sell them. Oh, and there will be a few cheeky spoilers, but nothing too serious. Prepare to have your optimism optimized, because this is about to get... We'll start with a game that most 20-year-olds know and love from their childhood, Croc. I was first exposed to my initial taster of that ravishing reptile back when the Spice Girls ruled over all mankind and Jamie Oliver hadn't banished turkey twizzlers. Life was good. Life was easy. And my local Tesco had a children's play area with games consoles plugged into those TVs protected by plastic cabinets that you could go and play. Fuck the ball pong. Give me Croc. I would literally go berserk when my mum would say that we were going shopping, because I could get to play Croc for a good hour. Granted, I'd have to start from the beginning each time, so hearing that initial song that prepares you for Croc's adventure into Gobbo Island is ingrained into my mind forever. I think Adventure Begins is aptly named. It gives you an encouraging, optimistic melody that drives you forward into exploring this mystical new world, and truly is a great track to start any escapade. With the number 9 spot, I was locked between the more serene and laid-back Jun's theme and the upbeat, groovy HALE theme in a vicious debate, a battle, a
Fight!
if you will. In the end, Paul came out my highest pick, just as high as the skyscraper on which he fights and as high as that wonderfully rectangular hairstyle. I select Paul as my fighter whenever I want to have a bit more of a fun, playful approach to the game, so like when I have friends over or things like that to play versus mode, and the music definitely helps set a light-hearted undertone to the atmosphere. Imagine I'm 3-year-old Lucy. I look like a boy, I played with a castle instead of a doll's house, and have 2 older brothers. Disney's Hercules comes out as cinemas in 1997. It's the first film I ever see in a theatre, and I bloody love it! This is probably why the music, which is derived from the film, is my absolute favourite, because it's bloody swimming in nostalgia for me. It just leaps me back to that blue sky, the vibrant foliage, the metallic birds? Okay, I just want to sing along. And whilst not exactly complete without Danny DeVito's yells of
"Nice work! Excelente! Alright! 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 Alright!"
it absolutely slots into this list as one of the happiest songs in video games. Okay, perhaps I'm breaking an unwritten rule here, as this technically wasn't written specifically for a game, but screw you all, it's my video, I do what I want. You tell me. Strutting around the strip in Fallout New Vegas with this blaring from the casinos doesn't make you want to get up off your couch and dance. It's Dean Bloody Martin. He's the king of cool, doing that swing thing, and it's marvellous. And I always find myself singing along, so it makes the list bite me.
How lucky can one guy be? I kissed her and she kissed me. Like the fella once said, ain't that a kick in the head?
Ha! Well, I bet you didn't see this coming. Surely the words quantic dream and happy rarely find themselves in the same sentence. Unless there is not between them. Maybe it's just that this song, in comparison to the rest of the Heavy Rain soundtrack, is simply not as depressing as this? But I think the uplifting string choruses and delicate piano combines to create a wonderfully uplifting piece. Hey, Lauren, you may be a prostitute and your son has been murdered, and the friend who you're starting to get close to is evidently the guy who killed your son, but hey, you can make it one day. You can make it. Very contradictory to the rest of Infinite's soundtrack. The song that is playing whilst Elizabeth dances on the pier feels like you're slap bang in the middle of joyous celebrations in an Irish bar. People surround her with encouraging claps and happy jigs, and even though Booker is a right party pooper,
Could you just Miss Elizabeth? Hello?
You can really feel Elizabeth's elation at finally being free from the tower. This is the only Harvest Moon game I ever played, simply because most of the franchise ended up being on Nintendo consoles, and my loyalty has always, and always will be, with the Sony PlayStation. And so, Save the Homeland, released back in 2001 on the PS2, was my first taster into the world of the farm simulation genre? But hey, we ain't talking Farmville here, people. Fucking Farmville. Facebook requests and sending me chickens. I don't fucking care. Save the Homeland unfolded over a time period of a year in which you had to, spoiler alert, save the homeland. Well, I never. The weather shifts into the 4 seasons across this time period. A las Elastabas, the spring melody for when you're tending your crops and animals on your farm is, quite predictably, a fresh, hopeful and energetic piece. But what really stands out to me was that it was in 3 beats to the bar as opposed to the standard 4/4 tempo. This gives a sort of waltz-like feel, which adds further to the nostalgia, and it's as though it's really giving a nod to the old styles of music, which I personally have always adored. Trotting around with that blue sky stretching out into the distance, trees full of new leaves and your grassy field a deep green hue. Oh, it all just feels so pleasant, and it makes me happy. Skyrim. Oh, Skyrim. Bethesda, you may create games that are laggy, buggy, glitchy sacks of annoyance, but I love ya. And Skyrim is just one of those installments that changed a gaming generation. Everybody loved it. I love Skyrim. You love Skyrim. Great Auntie fucking Agatha loves Skyrim. We all love
Skyrim.
And a huge aspect of my adoration for this game was its emotional rollercoaster of a soundtrack, which could easily wipe the floor with much of the music in cinematic Hollywood blockbusters to this day. I don't know about you, but gallivanting through the ambient forest teeming with clusters of mushrooms and fluttering insects, looking up at the star-laden night sky decorated with streaks of northern lights dancing through the air, caused me to actually put my controller down once or twice and just stare. The absolutely mind-blowing world of Skyrim, paired with the dramatic yet subtle, cinematic yet sublimely real scores of orchestral music, is an experience that is hard to describe in mere words. That is why From Past to Present slides into the list at number 3. From a technical viewpoint, the rather compelling minor scales of this piece may not be considered joyful at all. But from a personal, emotional stand, even just hearing this track reminds me of the beauty of adventuring through that magnificent world and fills me with sheer bliss. If you haven't played this yet, and quite frankly, what on earth are you doing with your life if you haven't, then just go and embark on a quest and you'll understand what I mean. Now, I have never known a dilemma as difficult as deciding which song out of Spyro 2 is the happiest. It's borderline impossible, and I was oh so close to slipping the homeworld theme for Summer Forest in to claim the number 2 spot, as I regularly come back to it again and again to chill out to, but we're talking happy here, people, not ambient. Maybe it's because the level is called Sunny Beach, and naturally this is going to be accompanied by a happy song. But this combination of a jazzy organ melody, bouncy beats and just a hint of Copeland genius makes me so full of joy. Just look at the baby turtles running around. Look at them, they're so happy. And so am I. Stuart Copeland, I've said it once before and I'll say it again. You are a bloody legend. I love Final Fantasy 12. It's the best in the whole series. I don't care what anyone says. In all seriousness, the shitstorm I'm going to receive from putting this at number 1 will be fantastic. Well, it would if I even had any subscribers, but never mind. Even though the game actually received critically universally high review scores and Game of the Year awards, people I know seem to despise it. Okay, so Vaughn is a bratty, annoying rip-off of Cloud, and Ash is meant to be some sort of royal princess yet can't even find her pants. But hey, Fran and Balthier, that's all I need to say. They're freaking awesome. Besides, this isn't a game review, I don't have to prove myself. This is about happy motherfucking songs in video games, and the Royal City of Rabanastre theme song is one happy sounding motherfucker. Rabanastre is where you basically begin your adventure. It's the most revered to me because you spend like the first 5 hours here, and this song gets all up in your junk, but in a good way. You could say it caresses your junk in a sweet, thoughtful manner. I don't know, it just kind of feels like home. It conveys the surroundings of a bustling city to perfection. And it's home to this little blighter. Cutest Moogle ever. So there we have it, my top 10 happy songs in video games. I hope this has brought a grin to your face and reignited some good old jovial nostalgia. And like I briefly touched on at the beginning, there weren't any Nintendo titles on this list at all, which might be a bit barbaric to some people, but like I say, leave your top 10s or just any happy video game songs that you like in the comments below. I've been HaleFail, you've been awesome, adios gamers and gameritas. If you're watching this and you notice, hey, where are the other videos? Then do not fear, my friends, I have just started out, but I will be uploading more game related stuff in the future. For now, if you feel like this is your jam, then do go ahead and subscribe to HaleFail for more reviews, top 10s, let's plays and all that jazz. It's free, so you can't say fairer than that. I also take photos of things with filters over at Instagram and ramble about how annoying everything is on Twitter, so you can head over there and hang with me too if you want. I mean, it's totally up to you. Totally.